Stop it. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. I'm so happy.
A little big, but I'm not going anymore. No.
It's amazing. I'll read the manual before we leave, yeah. Okay, you guys. I am packing. I'm still in my time frame. I have 1 hour left to get this done. I'm moving pretty fast. Thank you for this contraption. And I'm figuring it out, you guys, right? I need my kitchen handy dandy. The groceries right there. Let's come around to the back. Look at my setup, you guys. There's home for the next week. This space is for my garage. And that's a new feature to these trips. But I found that it is necessary that when I'm looking for these items, I know exactly where I'm supposed to be looking for them. I made sure I covered the back. I'm driving an Infiniti, you guys, right? I'm going to be a bit of an it girl on this trip. Let's just get a good view of that. Isn't it amazing? I am so excited. At first, I was a little bit nervous to see how I was going to fit it, just because it has a funny way that the seats go down, but that's okay. I have lots of gear to fill up that space. It's just all storage for me, and I think I'm feeling pretty comfortable with this in the moment. I'll give you a final look because it's not going to look like that when I'm done. Okay, you guys, see you in a bit. Okay, we'll film a little bit because I did a boo-boo this morning. I went ahead and freed up some space on my phone, thinking that all my videos had already been uploaded to my Google account. And yeah, a couple of the videos this morning. You know, I do it when I go into a Tim Hortons or McDonald's or something, right? And then I just have an opportunity to sit down and have a cup of coffee and go through my content and see if there's anything that's missing or anything that you know, I would like to share, right? And yeah, I noticed that I had done that, but I got lots of space on my phone now. And we are up in Northern Ontario. If you haven't been following along with us, we're up in Northern Ontario. I'm on my way to, well, I'm not quite sure. In my mind and in my emotions, I really, really love this province. You know, I'm really wanting to spend a couple of days in one spot, and it just seems that it's just been one spot after the next, and not really giving each of these provincial parks the due respect of my attention and my experience and my adventure and my sharing, because, you know, this content might inspire somebody else to come and do what I'm doing. And, you know, I'm not even from Ontario's, and yet I just love this province, and I am drawn to it. And part of this trip is actually scoping it out. I just started, as I just before I turned on the camera, checking out this part of the highway, and it just seems that there is a lot of abandoned, and yet there's a lot of new construction, and one town after the next. And for the most part of this drive, I have been out in wilderness. There hasn't been like town after town. I wish there was, you know, when I could stop off at a coffee shop and grab myself a coffee for the road, and I haven't been able to do that. But not that I need to. I've been doing really good with the other fluids and everything, and I have to be careful, right? Because I do suffer with Charlie horses. I tend not to drink enough fluids, and I wake up in the night and I do get those Charlie horses, and they're not fun, right? And it usually happens to me right after a really hard week when I think that I'm 20 still. And I really give her, and when I give her, I don't think to bring in the fluids, the extra fluids. So on this trip, I wanted to make sure that, how uncomfortable would it be in the truck, all stuffed in the truck, all cozy, ready to, pass out, and all of a sudden you get a Charlie horses and try and maneuver out of the truck when you're in that kind of pain, right? This morning I found out it's much easier to go through the back end because I have automatic door opener, so I can just kind of wiggle myself out of bed. So not an issue. Oh, look at that cottage over there, you guys. Oh my goodness. Like, I just love this province. It's so magnificently beautiful. I'm sorry I can't. I'm just going to keep you straight on the road with me because this has to be hands-free while I'm driving. And so you get to see what I'm seeing, which is basically the highway in front of me and a little bit of what the camera can pick up on the sides. I can twist it around on occasion so you can see the sides, but basically this is what you get. But so much abandoned. Like, I see something else coming up here, whether it's an old barn or if it's an old house, right? There was a lot of mining going on up here in the northern part of Ontario in the late 1800s and early 1900s, and these mines were popping up all over the place. And it was just after the California gold rush, and when they heard that there was gold up here in northern Ontario, everybody came up here. And small towns that have less than 100 people in them now, and they're still going, at one time had thousands and thousands of people. They were like cities, right? And some of them even turned into, like, these cities turned into ghost towns even. So I'm hoping, I'm expecting, and I'm excited to possibly maybe explore an abandoned mine. Wouldn't that be fun, you guys? I'll play it safe when I'm out in the field like that, but I'm geared up pretty good, much for anything. Next year, got to cut back a little bit more. Not much, a little bit though. I think my kitchen can come down in size a little bit. If I can bring my kitchen down in size a little bit, then I could stack 2 Rubbermaid containers, 1 food, 1 kitchen, on top of each other, and that would give me an extra 2 foot square for sure. Yeah, just for extra space, right? It's gonna be difficult for me, when I'm in my 70s and 80s. It's best for me to get these trips down packed. That's most convenient and exciting and fun, and not full of physical work. Because like I said, sometimes I don't pay attention, and I still think I'm 20. I'm grateful for my good health, but sometimes having that good health, it makes it so you don't recognize your age. And on top of that, I don't have that stamp of parent or grandmother on me too. So you guys gotta realize that I really don't recognize my age. I am, sometimes, rest stop. I like to go and stop at the rest stops just to check them out. I have to remember to take a picture of them too for my Google Maps. Every time I stop at these rest stops, I'm trying to think. I think I missed taking pictures of the last 2 rest stops. Oh well. On the way home. Oh no, not on the way home. We're not taking this route on the way home. We're gonna take Highway 17 and Highway 7 maybe. I don't know. We're playing it by ear, you guys. I'm on holidays for 2 weeks. It's going to be just an amazing time. I'm having such an amazing time this morning, sitting at my picnic table. I was just at a stall there just to remember. Just trying to think, did I delete that one too? I don't think so. Like, I want this to be a holiday for me, doing things that I would love. I don't want to scrimp. I don't want to deny what I want to do. There is one camping spot. I feel a little sad because I'm going to New York, and I'm right there, and I would love to go digging for crystals in that area. But if I do that, then I'm going to get to the Herkimer mine really late, and I don't know if I'll be able to get a camping spot. So I don't know. Things to think about along the way. I have my itinerary, right? And in my mind I could say, Cindy, stick to your itinerary. You have every single date, right, already scheduled, and you know exactly what you're doing. But I have to, I just love white picket fences. Oh my goodness. Look at that, so pretty. Yeah, I teased my husband one time that he was going to buy me a house with a white picket fence. He did get me a beautiful house when we got stationed in Edmonton, but we weren't there that long before our marriage fell apart. And I came back to Winnipeg. Come on, I see you coming. I see you coming. Come on. Come on. Okay, that's enough. Some for the crows and magpies. You want the last one? Okay, so this is my campsite. It's fairly small. I don't know where the electrical box is. I guess that's the electrical box. There's my... Yeah, see, I have an electrical box here. Kind of a small spot for an RV, but it sure is a pretty spot. It sure is a pretty spot. Yeah, so there's my electrical outlet. I didn't really bring anything except my phones to charge, and the car is doing a pretty good job at keeping the phones and the gear all charged up. So far, not as bad as last year, eh, you guys? It's still looking pretty nice. But there was a lot of rain on my trip last year. There was a lot of rain, and so I suspect that this one will hold up a little bit better, right? It's a little bit nervous when you have a rental because it's not truly yours. Not like I would beat it up if it was mine anyway, but right? When things don't belong to you, right? It's a pleasure to drive such a magnificent vehicle. I love this vehicle, you guys. The Infinity. What a nice drive. Oh my goodness. It is a bit of a gas guzzler. But it's a very much a pleasure to drive. Yeah, very nice. Right, and it saves me from spending $100 on a hotel, and why would I want to? Right? Look at. Shall we go down here? Looks like a little trail down here. Yeah, let's go down here. Let's go for a little walk while there's still some light. If I see any big pieces of wood, there's tons to scavenge. Look how big these trees are. They're just huge. I don't smell the mushrooms, but then I haven't seen a lot of colors in the trees either. I wonder why they cut it down. It looked like a pretty healthy tree. Make your own trail, Cindy. And looks what happens when you do. You get a photo moment. Okay, hold on. Okay, everybody. I have to say that this so far is my favorite campground. And I haven't even looked at the rest of the park yet. Seriously, it's just my campground. If I had the time today, and I actually contemplated it this morning, but look at that water. Look how clear it is. And it is so warm. It is so warm. What a perfect space just to walk in and go for a swim. Yeah, it is pretty amazing here. I just love it. And it's a tiny little spot, and it's an electrical spot. It's meant for an RV, so a smaller RV like a B class would probably fit in here, but one of the big ones, no. But oh my goodness, right? I didn't need the electrical spot. I didn't use the power bar in any way. It's just I picked my spots by what took my fancy, right? And man, I'm doing such a good job. Toot my own horn. I'm doing such a good job in picking my spots. Oh my goodness, let me turn you around. I've had so many friends today. Well, it would have helped if I had had the video on. Okay, so we got our 44th word today, and our 44th word is influence. And I sat down with my cup of coffee ready to put 15 minutes into it, and it came right away. I'm inspired by my camping spot, right? 44th word, influence. Influence is the evidence that brings about change. Isn't that true, you guys? That is so true. So we are somewheres up here. We're about an hour's away from North Bay. And our destination today is here. But we are going to stop off here, and we're going to see if we can get some mining done, right? I'm going to plant myself in Silent Lake, which is my next spot, you guys. We're leaving Martin River. I put the old one in, going to take the new one and put the new one in the dashboard window. So our next destination is Silent Lake. It's about 3.5 hour drive from here. But halfway there is where the mine is, right? So I'm suspecting it'll take me 2.5 hours to get there. It's still early right now. I don't think it's 10 o'clock in the morning. I'll be in North Bay by 11. I'm going to pick up a few groceries if I'm going to plant myself in a park for a couple of days. I sure would like to make myself a nice meal. And oh my goodness, I haven't even had my fruit pancakes yet. So we are going into an area 1.5 billion years old. 1.5 billion years old. Lots of rock cutouts in the road, so I'll be stopping off and maybe checking out some of those road cuts along the way, which makes it so I'm going to be a little bit later. But if I can get a couple of hours in tonight, I can drive back tomorrow, can't I? If I'm going to plant myself in this park. There's another place that I want to go. It is in these areas here, which is Tory Hill. And this is my campground here. And I want to do some digging there also. So it makes perfect sense that I'm going to. I also have a campground here in a few days because that was on my way back home. So I wanted to hit this area again. So this just works out absolutely. I am happy with this. It just took so much off of me in the moment just to, release that. I'm having the most amazing time. It hasn't put a dent in my holiday in any way. Oh, I see a photo shot. So I'm going to hit the road now, you guys. I'll see you in a bit. Yeah, we're heading into North Bay, and it is supposedly a pretty big city in northern Ontario. It's going to be the turning point for me coming off this highway, but I'll have an opportunity to hopefully get a TD Bank and exchange some American money and get some gas and pick up a cup of coffee and then stop off at a grocery store, pick up a few groceries and a bag of ice, and we're on the road. And we're only on the road for not a short time, maybe a couple of hours, and we're going to spend the day digging in some dirt, seeing if we can find some minerals and rocks. So that'll be a little bit different today, and I'm pretty excited for that. And then we're only an 1.5 hour drive from our campground, and I've decided to stay there a couple of days and do some rock hounding and crystal hunting in the other area. It is the area that I want to spend the majority of my time, and I just found that on this trip I was flying through my experiences a little bit too fast. So I made an executive decision, and yeah, we're going to try and slow down. I don't know what I could do about that haul, that 7-hour drive to Lake Superior. I could sacrifice a camping spot, maybe find something along the road. I don't know. We'll play it by ear, but I would like to. That's still another week away. You guys, we're on the road. We're having a magnificent holiday. I created this on my little job, my little part-time job in a thrift store, right? But this is my stick with the bag at the end in applying myself in the lessons and, really untangling some wires and really understanding life and specifically understanding me. Oh my goodness, I thought I had myself down packed. But if you're doing it right, change is always happening, right? And to each one of us, we get to discover that through the choices that we make. And oh boy, I am discovering that. That's why strips. My goodness. I stick with the bag on the end.